Do you get overwhelmed when you have multiple chats to respond to? So many customers coming to your DM to make inquiries about one or two products you sell, or coming to your DM to make multiple inquiries. And the truth is, everybody wants to be attended to immediately. Now, here comes the question: how on earth will you be able to attend to everybody at the same time? Probably you've even employed a PA. Well, I'm here to give you a good news. Let's talk about autoresponder. You might want to set up an autoresponder that would help you attend to your customer immediately. You would not know how much of customers you keep on losing every day, every week, by virtue of you delaying in responding to them. I'm Festus Adeyemi. You're welcome back to my channel. In this video today, we are going to talk about how to set up your autoresponder for your WhatsApp in such a way that when a customer comes to you, your autoresponder responds immediately and gives them the right information immediately. If this is the kind of video you are interested in, please comment with autoresponder in the comment section below so that we can help YouTube algorithm to show our videos to every other person who are really in need of this tutorial. Give us a thumb up by clicking on the like button, and if this is your first time on this channel, you might want to click on the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so that whenever I release a fresh video, you will be the first to be notified about it. So let's get started.
This particular icon here, green icon here, is showing you that your autoresponder is activated. So that means if you turn it off, your autoresponder will not function. So it will only function if you turn it on. Then you click on this hamburger here, all you see is some other settings, rules, test your rules, task about the app, and so on. But more importantly, I'll just talk about rules. Everything you'll be doing here, all those automation you want to start setting up, is all about rules. They call it rules. So to get started, click on the received message, like should be answered. So that's the message that you're expected to get from the customer, whoever is chatting you up.
Can you remember in this video here we talked about how to set up a customized link that leads to a customized message for your customer? We'll be utilizing the same message content that was used in that video to further explain the autoresponder. Let's get started.
So don't forget, we started some series of video where we created some customized message. So I'll be using that same customized message to explain this particular setting up. So let me paste the message here. I've already copied it. So can you remember this? Customer can get to enter his or her name to the message. In fact, let me add that here. If I had entered this when I was customizing the message, this is what will come up when the person clicks on the message, on the link, and the person will be able to enter his or her name. So you have your message here now. So I've just copied it and pasted it here now as the message that you will receive, which will trigger your autoresponder. So now, once you enter that here, you have your options to choose from. For every of this you have here, it's telling you, if you click on it, we try to explain to you what each of this means. If I click on I for exact match, it's trying to explain to you what exact match is. So if you click on this for similarity match, it will explain to you what that means. If you click on these two, If you explain to you what that means, so, and it goes just like that. So in this case now, if I leave it as exact match, that means what I'm expecting from the customer is that it must be exactly like what I have here. So that's what I mean. But for the benefit of this particular what we want to achieve here, I don't think exact match would be the best thing to use here. I would rather use similarity match. Why? Reason being that, with what we have done here, we have left a space for the customer to enter his or her name. So with similarity match chosen as our preferred mode, what it means that even if the customer enters his or her name, it will still be able to trigger the autoresponder. But if we had left it as exact match, by the time the customer enters his or her name, it will not trigger the autoresponder because something has changed. The customer has added something to it. But once you leave it as similarity match, even by the time the customer adds his or her name, it will still work for what you want it to work. Like it will trigger the autoresponder. When the customer comes up with this, what do you want to reply to customer with? So that takes us to should be sent. This column called should be sent. So this is where you enter what you want your autoresponder to reply your customer with. So the customer has just asked you, hi Festus, I would like to know more about your printing business at Festech. My name is Dash, let's say Yakubu. So should be sent will now be, okay, I would like to respond to the customer by telling him, okay, let's say you are welcome to Festech. So that might be the message. I'm just, for the purpose of this class, I've just left it as that. So the list goes just like that. It now depends on what you do and what you want to use your autoresponder for. So maybe I might want to continue the conversation by asking the customer to indicate what he wants to inquire about. Okay, let's say which of the services, let's say, let me just leave it as this. I've asked the customer a question. So I would be expecting the customer to reply with any of these services, since this is strictly about business. So I'm done with this particular call and response. So all I have to do is I would set other parameters like multiple replies if I want it to be replied once, or all at random. So let me just leave it as one, then leave all these ones on check. Process message with dialog flow, leave it as that. Then delay seconds. This is very important. It depends on what you want to achieve. You understand? You can set up your delay in seconds. Let's say if you have some series of messages, you don't want everything to start appearing, to start responding at the same time. You can ask it to delay maybe for some 5 seconds, like 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or let's say 6 seconds. So you can just, and if you don't want it to be delayed at all, you just leave it blank. Then talking about receiver here, if you want this rule, like the call and response, if you want it to be limited to only individuals, like people who chat you directly, you will leave it as individuals. But if you want it to apply to only groups where you belong, you will leave it as group. But if you want it to apply to both groups and individual, you leave it as both. So this is what this place means. Then under this particular place where we have specific contact, if you want this rule, like this call and response, to only apply to some set of contact, all you have to do is to click on this contact here and to ask it to allow access to your contact, blah blah blah. So with that, you can just select which of your contacts that you want this call and response to work for. Under this ignore contact too, if you don't want this rule of call and response, you don't want it to work for some set of people in your contact, so you put them under this ignore contact. So that means if any other person chats you with that same word, like this call, it will respond automatically, except for those people who you have put under this ignore contact. So that's what that means. Then under this specific time, what it means is that if you only want this automation to be effective at a particular point in time, maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, or at a particular time, so you just check that. So first rule, like if you want the rule to be paused for some minutes, seconds, some minutes, some seconds, some hours, some days, or if a particular message is dropped, you just identify that and you enter the number. Like if you want it to be paused for 5 seconds, for 5 days, 5 hours, 5 minutes, as the case may be, click on this mark button here, and we have our rules set up already. So don't forget, I had initiated the conversation. So for whatever conversation you want to keep flowing and you want the person to keep answering, you keep creating the call and response. Receive and send. So receive means what the person sends to you, and send means what you send to the person in response to what the person has sent to you. Now let's say the customer wants to reply by telling me printing. So I can just create another rule for that. So what is the message? Out of the items I've itemized: printing, color printing, scanning, online registration. Let's say the customer says print. Just watch me closely here. I intentionally decided to type print here. So in this case, you can use similarity match, and you respond by, let's say for example, that's the message you want to pass across to the customer. So set your parameters you might reach, and you click on this. So you set the rule for every other thing you have mentioned here, so that whichever one that the customer chooses, he can actually have an answer. So if I want to set a rule for scanning now, let's say click on plus again, and should be answer. Let's say scan. Why I decided to be doing it this way is because in case if the customer wants to, maybe the customer might not reply with scanning directly, maybe the customer can just say I want to scan, or I want to know about scanning, so that the autoresponder can still sense the word scan. So similarity match scan. Okay, we scan. Check. We're able to set our call and response for different conversations.
Alright, it's time to test our autoresponder. Let's see how far we've gone with our setup.
So I can just click on it, click on the link. I'm a customer now. I've clicked on the link, and the link is taking me to my WhatsApp as usual, as expected. Okay, still loading. Okay, so here we are. Okay, now here's the link, here's the message. Can you remember? So let me, as the customer now, let's say parental, let me say I want to add my name. My name is Ade, a tailor and a shoemaker. Send. Can you see that? Let me say I replied with to print. Can you see the response? Or even if I had typed printing, can you see the response is still coming? You see the reason why I decided to put print as a trigger message in the setup there. Can you see? Just to make it flexible, and don't forget the option we chose is similarity. If I had chosen extract match, it won't work for any of this because I typed print there. It is until when I type print here that will trigger the automation. So that's why similarity match is the best for this particular process. So if I had typed scanning too, can you see the automation? So that's just the way it is. You can keep the conversation flowing, whichever way you want it to go from the start to the finish, using the automation, using what we have just taught you in setting up the call and response. It depends on what you want to achieve.
Alright guys, we have come to the end of this training. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you actually enjoyed this video, click on the like button And if you are new to this channel, once again, click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you get notified when I release a fresh video. If you want a compilation of a single video where I talked about how to set up a customized link as well as customized message, which can now be embedded into Autoresponder to further automate the process and to make your job as a business owner easier, click on this video right here. I've also left the link to the video in the description button below. Alright guys, we have come to the end of this video. Bye.